This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted for the first time, I think, to be joined with Nisse Sauerland. How are we, mate?
Very good, mate. Very good.
I've just had another headache of a last-minute change. You know, these last 2 weeks, you know, it's been a bit of an unlucky week for you. You know, April Fool's is on Saturday, but you know, it can't seem to buy your luck really.
April Fools come early for me. Yeah. Look, it's just what can you do? Boxing. I was just saying, I hope this has just got on the bad luck for the whole year out of the way straight away off the bat, and we can just crack on and have a seamless year and smash it. But yeah, like I said, it's boxing. There's just, what can we do? We just march on.
It says a lot, nothing really surprised you in boxing. It must be frustrating where, Harlem trains for sort of a fighter, he's expecting it, and then last minute he has a opponent change, and then he obviously comes in quite heavy as well. Probably not the most ideal thing you want, isn't it?
Listen, they're both, let's say, Latin warriors. They both come to have a proper punch-up. You can see how heated it got at the weigh-in. He's ready for it, the guy, He's fought on our shows before, gives it a proper go, and Harlem has to adjust to the last-minute opponent change, which is never easy, but I think he'll cope with it well.
I was going to say, the weigh-in got a bit heated. Is it always sort of good to see that? Adds a little bit of spice to sort of the fight tomorrow, a little bit added interest?
Well, you tell me, clickbait, right? It's, look, when that happens and, that's what you want, right? That's what you want. Two guys up for it, ready to go right now in the car park. But they have to wait till tomorrow, and should be good. Live on 5 from 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
I did ask the same question to Callum. We were talking about, you just said live on 5. For guys like Harlem, guys like Matty, a lot has always been talked about recently of broadcasters. Everyone sort of talked about broadcasters. How important is it to have a good broadcast like Channel 5? We had 1.5 million looking at Lyndon Arthur, sort of stuff like that, where fighters are getting as much exposure as they possibly can.
I think it's very important. I think it's especially in the formative years of their career, when when Harlem is trying to make his own name for himself, perhaps get away from the family Eubank name and make his own way, in which he's doing, yeah. And he's, I think, out of anyone last year, he had probably one of the best years in British boxing. Surprised he didn't get any awards, but hey, that's how it goes.
What would you say the path is for someone like Harlem Eubank, where he had such a good year? I think that was his breakout year last year, where he really sort of made his name on, especially with all the super lightweights. Where would you say the sort of path we'll be looking at for Harlem Eubank in 2023 after a successful 2022?
I think we haven't seen him peak yet. I think Harlem's got a lot to give. I think that matching is very crucial. Today's plan got thrown out the window. We've done our best to sort of match him as similarly as possible. As long as he takes care of business tomorrow, I could see him in a 12-rounder next. Let's see who against. There's quite a few good names out there domestically, but also internationally. We need to get him ranked. We need to start moving him up all the rankings, and maybe a show in Brighton at some point.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm sure a show in Brighton would be something unbelievable, really. But when you look at it, he's always talked about the British title, but is it something that you're looking at in the year, the path for it, or, when it comes, it comes?
When it comes, it comes. But I have said before, I think it's a great fight. I think it needs, like a fine wine, it needs a bit of air to breathe. But I'm sure, listen, if it came tomorrow, Harlem would take it. He's a fighter. It's a fighter mentality. I have a business mentality, yeah? But, like I said, Harlem would take it. But could that fight be bigger? Could the rivalry grow? I believe so, yes.
Moving on, I know it's sort of like you're going to get a lot of questions about this, but obviously yesterday it came out, Robert Smith made comments about sort of the staging of Ben Eubank Jr. If it was to be staged against, in Abu Dhabi, licences would be taken away. Eddie Hearn called the comments wild. I just wanted your reaction on the comments.
I just don't think it's, in the British board's jurisdiction to go and do that, and, if it's in another country, if it even takes place. If I'm honest, I don't think people or board officials should be making comments on this, on hearsay and on rumour. as such. But look, Robert does a great job with the board. It's a tough job, and we appreciate him for it as well. But at the same time, you know, it's not. Listen, it's a different jurisdiction. I don't know. Like, I think we've got enough issues in British boxing that we need to address here now to focus on.
I was going to say that because Eddie Hearn was saying that. He said yesterday in a few interviews, he was like, it's a bit concerning where you see the board, like, you know, they're doing interviews, saying public things. Where do you feel like sort of the opinion with the board has changed over this sort of time, where, you know, people might have changed their opinions on Robert Smith and stuff like that? Like I said, he's going out doing interviews, all these sorts of stuff.
I don't know. I preferred it better when people from the board don't give interviews. You've got to issue statements, of course. But look, I just want to get on and put on good boxing. I want to develop youngsters. I want to develop superstars. I want to work with superstars. That's what I want to do. I can't comment on the whole Conor Benn situation. It's like, you know, I've got no idea. That's past my brain waves. You know, past what I have capacity to think about right now. I'm dealing with a show tomorrow. I've had a last minute pull out, making a show go ahead. If a Conor Benn Eubank fight happens, it happens. If a Liam Smith Eubank fight happens, it's a great treat for the fans as well. So yeah, we need to all stop sort of bitching at each other and get boxing back on track. That's you know, and that goes for promoters working together. It goes for everyone, really. The board, everyone.
I was going to say that, you know, like, where it is frustrating, and I know sort of as reporters we've got to do our job and ask the questions, but for me, the way I look at it, it's like, I want to focus on your show on Friday night. Do you know what I mean? Like, asking you questions about Ben and this and that. I know I've asked you, but it's frustrating, you know.
But listen, you have to do that. It's your job. You're a journalist. You wouldn't be a good journalist if you weren't asking those questions. You know, I got myself worked up into a bit of an angry sort of frame of mind there. But it's, you know, look, everyone has a bit of fun in games. Everyone chats a bit of shit, you know. Like, but come on, this is new. Let's relax. Let's take a breath. Let's just put on some good shows and get boxing back up there.
And sort of just to finish off, John Fury came out in the saying that you had a little chat with him about potentially KSI v Tommy Fury. How did those sort of chats go?
Listen, it's a big fight, that. It's a really big fight. I don't know what's happening with Jake Paul stuff. I hear it's going another route. I'm not sure. But listen, working with Tommy either way, you know, if it's against JJ, against KSI, it's a big one. That's a big fight.
Well, Nisse, I appreciate your time, mate, and hopefully all the show goes well tomorrow night. Thank you. Cheers, thank you. Cheers for that, mate.